AGI is artificial general intelligence. And it does sound kind of spooky, right? And it should, because if we think about it, AGI has a huge potential, a potential that can be used for the good and the bad. So the real question is, should we be worried about the development of AGI? And what can we actually do to make sure that this development doesn't actually end up destroying humanity and mankind? Well, in this video, we are going to break all the taboos about artificial general intelligence. We will explain you what it is, the advantages, the benefits, the risks, and even how we could eventually create beneficial and benevolent artificial general intelligence, and how blockchain is super important and super useful in the pursuit of that goal. Because at the end of the day, it's very likely that this technology will be developed no matter what. And it is an extremely powerful technology, and used for the good, it could really be amazing for the future of mankind and for the prosperity of the world. Well, welcome to Decentralized Nation, the best channel to learn about cryptocurrency. And yes, you heard me right. I said cryptocurrency. This is a crypto channel. So why are we talking about AGI? A bit confusing, right? Well, AGI, like crypto, there are two very revolutionary technologies for mankind. But the reality is that blockchain and cryptocurrency and AI combined can actually help us develop a better AGI that I'll show you and I'll explain you later down the video. AGI is considered to be a strong and complete artificial intelligence, one that is not only capable of executing a specific task, but several different tasks, having the power to learn and adapt. We could say that AGI is like human intelligence, but in software, of course. So you can think of a software that is similar to a human being in the sense that it can think by itself, it can perform several different actions, it can learn from its limitations, from its failures, and do better next time. But the thing is that these softwares don't have some of the human limitations, like, for example, we need to eat, we need to rest, we cannot do crazy calculations like computers can. And AGI is actually able to do all of that. So imagining a software that, like ChatGPT or OpenAI, they can absorb very fast thousands of data sets, thousands of information and knowledge, basically, much faster than a human ever could. So you could understand the potential that AGI can have, because, the same way we have the potential to write something from the knowledge we get, an AGI machine would have the same potential, but it would be able to have so much more knowledge in their head when forming its concept. An example of the power of robots, of software, of technology, are, for example, the robots that can defeat chess masters. It happened many times. They can run up to thousands of strategies in their heads and plan much farther ahead than any human being, and that's why they are able to win the game that is, at the end of the day, a game of strategy, of almost like math, let's say. So as you can see, with all this potential, AGI will naturally be like any other technology with potential, very good for mankind if used for the good, but extremely dangerous if used for the bad, for the wrong things and the wrong reasons. But maybe before diving deeper into the risks and benefits of AGI, we should explain you a little bit of what is the difference between AI and AGI. But of course, if this video is being interesting and useful, please leave a like. That will help us reach more people. But explaining this difference, you can think of AGI as I told you, as a well-rounded human with different levels of intelligence, different capabilities, and the capability to learn about completely different things, from motor skills to sensory skills, logic, creativity, etc. While on the other hand, an AI is much more narrow, it's much more focused, it's specialized in a specific task, Like, for example, ChatGPT, that is great providing answers to your questions, but certainly, would not be very helpful in picking up your phone, for example, or on guiding a robotic end to pick up your phone, because it's a specialized software and doesn't have that knowledge. But an AGI could do both. Now that you have a clear picture of what is AGI, let's dive into the benefits that you can see here. The first benefit is that AI would likely be a technological revolution, one that would have exponential gains to humans and to their productivity, like the steam machine or the computers. In fact, I believe AI could drive bigger productivity gains than any revolution we have experienced up until this moment, as we could, for example, have these intelligent softwares being able to solve issues we are not able to solve right away, and even being able to produce and work 24/7 as they don't have to rest, for example. Picking up on what was said before, if we think about it, AI with the capacity of processing and understanding large data sets could maybe develop technological solutions for things like medical cures and things that we were never able to find, but that having a specialized AI going through all the data set, working on it, finding connections, they might be able to actually find it. If we combine AI with robotics, that is a revolutionary technology that is being also developed, it could lead to the development of intelligent robots, robots that are capable of being much more productive than humans, because, they don't have to rest. They are able to do all kinds of work, no matter the demand, the quest, even, I don't know, lifting a huge truck. If they are built to do so, they could do it. So, they have a lot of potential without any of the human drawbacks. And if you think about it, it's likely companies will hire these robots that don't need to take day offs or vacations, or don't get sick, for example. Another benefit of AI is with all the prosperity it could bring, especially when combined with other technologies. You would be able to spend more time doing other things besides work. You wouldn't need to work. You could developing yourself, find a different purpose in life, learn, create meaningful memories, being with people. You could really do whatever you want to do without having to follow like a mindless routine, just, to make money, just a routine that in many cases leaves a lot of people very unsatisfied with their life. Don't get me wrong when I say this. Working is great, it's fantastic, I love to work, but that is only true when you work in something you really enjoy, and you can do that with AI, but not when you have to work for money to survive. AI will give us that option to only work in what makes sense for us, because it could generate enough prosperity to distribute across all mankind. But of course, it's important to see what would be our mechanisms to distribute this wealth. Maybe blockchain could help there, but let's see. But of course, we need to be realistic and also be aware of the dangers of AI and the risks that come with the development of this technology. The first thing is that this technology is completely different from anything we have ever developed. And I say this because we are, for the first time, creating something that is not a tool for us to use, is intelligence, is an independent intelligence that will form itself, will form its knowledge, will have its own decisions, and we won't have control over them. We can initially control the data set, the information they receive, but once they're out in the wild, that control is gone. We don't know what kind of experiences it will have and how it will affect its judgment. It's not just a normal computer program like we had before. And the thing is also, this kind of technology we are creating could become superior to human themselves. There's no way to understand the consequences and how they will develop, what kind of decisions they think are the best. The thing is, we can only hope for the best. We can only hope that AI doesn't go against humans and instead searches to support them. But the truth is, even AI developers are not 100% sure of the implications of AI. A lot of people funding and working on AI are not sure of this, or even how AI is developed, how they gain their knowledge, how they can behave. And it's true that AIs have shown unexpected behavior considering the information, the data they were fed. So it's kind of a unknown, undiscovered place we are going through, and we don't even have notion to of the extent of the risks, I would say. In fact, that is one of the risks, is that AI, or especially AGI, that is a more powerful one, end up being misaligned and having misaligned goals with all the humankind. So goals that are different from the goals we have as humans, that could be even total opposites, and that will not be the goals we consider to be good to humans, and we don't know what kind of impact and repercussion it can have to mankind. Another issue I see with the development of these AIs and AGIs is that right now we have a lot of individual companies working on this, on AI. Companies such as Google, Facebook, IBM, Nvidia. And the reality is that there is a clear lack of transparency in terms of what it is they are developing. These companies are mostly competing between themselves, so they try to keep what they are doing a secret, and then don't really share information with themselves or with the public. I would say that is the most important thing. So we have no clarity about what kind of information they are being fed, what they are learning, and even with what intent they are being trained. This lack of transparency means that there are no checks and balances, and companies can be doing whatever they want because there is still no clear legislation in terms of AI. And the worst part is that what they are developing could have real consequences to the whole humanity. So, transparency is just fair, because at the end of the day, even if their intentions are the best ones, which you could, discuss, you might think they are, you might think they aren't, but even if they have really good intentions, things can go wrong. And if they go wrong, especially when you try to be faster than your competition, you can just cut corners and create catastrophic mistakes, especially when you are developing something with so much potential. And this also relates to another thing, is that the reality is that these companies have incentives to develop AI that benefits them. They have incentives to use the latest and more powerful models of AI for themselves, for their activities, and not to share them with the world. They can also train the AI to serve a specific ideology, or even to train them to serve their interests, for example. And even the competitive advantage they could have from having their AI more developed than everyone else means that we face a real risk of AI or an AGI only serving a few, and if that happens, contributing to the increase of disparity in terms of income for the population, and contribute to a situation where we have a few that are very rich, produce almost everything, and are in control of almost everything, and the rest of the people that are basically dependent on these few, that as they have the productive power, as they have the AIs, they can decide everything. And that's a real danger and a real problem that we need to consider when AI is being developed. So how can we manage all of this? How can we tackle these problems, these risks? Because the reality is that there are many incentives for individuals, companies, and even countries to continue developing AI and AGI. Not only the potential benefits it could have to the whole world and the benefits of this technology to production and to mankind, but also the incentive of trying to be the first to develop AGI, as it will give you a competitive advantage against all your competitors. So you're kind of in a a game theory dilemma where either you work on it and develop it, or you risk being surpassed by your competitors that are working on it. That is why we have companies like Microsoft acquiring OpenAI. We have Google with the DeepMind project investing millions into developing AI. So it's clear we cannot avoid the development of AGI and AI. Even if the governments put restrictions, the reality is that these companies can still develop it, without anyone knowing. Or, the thing is, probably not every country in the world will be putting restrictions at the same time, because, AI and AGI could bring a lot of benefits to many countries. And I'm sure that at least one country in the world would like to have the opportunities to spearhead this revolution and to collect the benefits of being open and supportive to these kind of companies. As such, instead of trying to fight this technology, what is likely a lost battle. So if you're worried about AI and AGI, don't try to fight it. Try to understand it. Try to be proactive, and instead search to make sure that this technology is developed in an ethical, responsible, beneficial, and benevolent way for the whole humanity. You probably agree with me. I think you would probably like AI and AGI if they were beneficial to everyone. If everyone could benefit from their power, if we could create a better and fair life for everyone. So the thing is, how can we actually do that in practice? And the answer is SingularityNet. SingularityNet is developing AI in the right way, in an open source way. And it leverages blockchain technology to create incentives for AI companies and individuals to participate in this AI development in an open source, fair, transparent manner. In fact, blockchain is also how they process the transactions and make sure everything in the process of developing AI and even the AI communications are fair and transparent. SingularityNet has its own marketplace as well, where AI projects can add their services and not only get paid users but get interactions that will help them to keep training and refining the models they are creating. And it also provides funding to new AI ideas and projects with their deep funding initiative, that it's its own decentralized funding for AI. And leveraging this open source building and combining all the services and sharing information between these services on the marketplace and knowledge between the AI models, SingularityNet expects to be able to create benevolent and beneficial AGI for the whole world. But more than just creating the right environment for AI to be developed in an open source way, in a transparent way, when we can check what is happening, we can give inputs ourselves, anyone in the world can participate and give inputs. We can also find the problems more quickly, as everything is done through the blockchain and in an open source way. The reality is that they are also very worried about the governance of AI and the governance of this AI development. They are developing a DAO exactly for this, to set the principles for AI development, but also to make sure that we have a way through this governance of AI to assure that we actually achieve benevolent AGI. If you want to learn more about SingularityNet or even participate more actively on SingularityNet and on the development of AI and AGI, especially if you're worried about it, which I advise you to do so, the best way is to take matters into our own hands. I'll leave the links here to the website and even Telegram and Discord, where you can interact with the community, with the team, and ask any questions you have. It will be in the video description. Of course, if you want to be informed about blockchain, SingularityNet, AGI, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if otherwise you still feel you need more information and you want to learn more about SingularityNet, you can check the video playlist we have here, where we have 2 awesome videos where we dive really deep into what is SingularityNet, and some more videos about other relevant topics that will bring you a lot more knowledge about this world of AI and AGI. So yeah, you have everything there in that playlist. You need to get onboarded and to start participating more actively and contributing with your own insights and life experience to the future of AI and AGI. And the reality is that this will be something that will define the world. So there's nothing more important we could be working on. So yeah, come join us. Come make sure that your opinion is heard. And on my side, thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting, and I'll see you in the video about Singularity Net.